One of my favorite moments from the National was getting to sit down with Nat Turner, the head of collectors and PSA. And I got to ask him about PSA's plans for different grading levels in the future, and also if their grading standards have gotten tougher over time. And we also talked about all of the innovative things that Collectors is up to. Here is that conversation. This year's National is brought to you by Midwest Cards, the official wax sponsor of Sports Card Investor. With an amazing selection of wax on their website, check them out at midwestcards.com. Hey guys, I'm here with Nat Turner, CEO of Collectors, the company that owns PSA, and a lot else. There's a lot going on with Collectors right now. I've noticed, obviously, you got your Vault you just launched and all kinds of stuff. You're grading video games. What's going on right now with Collectors?
Yeah, we've got a lot going on. So the Vault we launched at the show. It's a secure facility in Delaware. The big idea is you can submit cards at PSA and straight from the grading room, have them sent to the Vault. No shipping required, secure storage. You can sell them eventually on Golden. It's not live yet, but it will be soon. And yeah, we're also with WADA doing video games. We're soon launching Funko Pop grading, which we're excited about.
Cool, that's amazing. So my cards, I guess right now, are probably being transitioned between the Golden Vault and the Collector's Vault. I signed an agreement for that to happen.
Thank you.
What's the vision with the Vault? Is it going to connect to like a marketplace?
Yeah.
How's this all going to kind of coalesce?
Yeah, the idea is just extra liquidity for collectors, for submitters. You know, we want you to have as many options as possible to monetize your card, but also if you just want to store it. I have a lot of cards I don't really want in my house. I want them somewhere where I don't have to worry about insurance, I don't have to worry about theft, I don't have to worry about fire. So the idea is you can have second place, to keep your cards. Very convenient. So straight from the grade room, straight from Golden, you can send in, you can walk in, you can submit your cards any way you want, and they'll always be there. And under the Collectors brand, which is very trusted with PSA, for example, we have armed guards there. It's a huge facility. It's not an outsourced contract facility. It's something we're watching. So there's a lot of trust and confidence built into that system.
So if I submit cards to PSA going forward, if I choose, they can be sent to my Vault
optional.
and sent it back to me.
Yeah.
And then likewise, if I buy things on Golden, they'll go there as well?
Yeah, if you want.
Right.
Completely optional.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool. And do you have the sales tax savings? I know that could sometimes be an advantage with Vaults.
Yeah, so our Vault's in Delaware.
Okay.
If you buy something and you have it sent there, obviously the sales tax is avoided.
It's a big deal too, because that saves you an 8%, or depends on your state, obviously, but that's a lot of savings.
Yeah, you have to leave it there. I think that's the that's the one catch with most Vaults. But
yeah. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, so exciting there. What else should we expect out of Collectors? At PSA, you guys have made some big news recently with pricing changes, right?
Yeah.
You did a special this month in August where or I guess it was July, where you dropped the pricing. Is that going to be something we see again in the future? Are we going to see prices come down permanently in the future?
That's our goal. So the special will end at the end of this month. First time I'm probably saying it, but we've gotten way more cards than we expected from that $18 special, which is an awesome thing. We wanted set collectors really to get those cards in. Our plan is to introduce another, lower tier price, probably not 18 right away, in August, maybe September, which hopefully is permanent. Big news for us is we just started grading cards in New Jersey for the first time last week. We announced that office in January maybe, and it's live. So we have graders, receivers, researchers in New Jersey, which is going to be our first ever second grading site. So that'll allow us to do more cards on a daily basis. So now that our capacity is well over 2x when we bought the company a year and a half ago, we're over 50,000 cards a day now consistently. That'll allow us to have a consistent lower price. But the special we really wanted to time with the National. There's a lot of excitement, set collectors, and we'll reintroduce a lower price, hopefully next month.
Where do you eventually want to get with turnaround? Like what is, for whatever your lowest price tier ends up being?
90 days or less.
90 days or less. So you want it, so any card submitted to PSA, even on the lowest price level, eventually you'll get to a 90-day or less turnaround.
That's our goal.
That's exciting.
Yep.
That's really exciting. That's
we have, the whole company knows that goal.
Okay.
It's in our, what OKRs are, I'm sure.
Yeah, sure.
Our objectives and key results. One of them is every service level is 90 days or less.
Awesome. Good. So another thing that PSA did recently that made some news was starting to accept the Star Jordans for grading for the first time, right? And you came out and said that that is Michael Jordan's true rookie card. Tell me about this. Why do you feel that way?
I mean, it's the first one. I mean, I'm a Beckett kid. I mean, I grew up with Beckett magazines. Okay. I remember it saying XRC.
Yep.
The LeBron 02 Finest is an XRC as well. I mean, you have examples of XRCs. I am not a purist 50s, 60s set collector, who's been doing this 70 years, who believes in true rookie. I just think it's his first rookie card. I can debate with Ken Golden about this probably all day long. XRCs are true rookie cards to me. Okay. Yeah, it's not a nationally distributed product. It was licensed, that's what I believe. Yeah, they maybe sold it out of their garage, but it's a true rookie card in my opinion. Mantle, 51 Bowman, 52 Topps.
Sure.
I mean, I think that's the beauty of cards, though, is there can be debate and opinions as to what, is the true rookie as an example. But
now that PSA has opened up accepting these cards for submission, do you think it has brought more legitimacy to them?
That's a good question. I don't own one. I used to. I have a team bag sealed that I'm not going to unseal and get the Jordans on the top. But I have some BGS ones. I mean, they're beautiful cards. I think it's just more options for collectors. A lot of collectors prefer PSA. Some people prefer Beckett or SGC. It's fine. I think it's just more options for the card. We're certainly seeing a lot of crossovers come in, or hopeful crossovers. I think there's a lot of fear of the counterfeits, the Type 2s, the reprints. It's a bigger issue with the later years, 85, 86, and after, as opposed to 84, 85. But I think it helps that we're getting into it and saying, hey, we have confidence in grading these 84, 85 sets. That is the most important set. Jordan's 101's in there. But yeah, I think it's just another option.
How many total cards do you think are out there that are probably going to find their way to you?
Of Star?
Of Star. Of the Star
We've already
Jordans.
seen thousands. Of not Jordan, but of the 288 cards in the base set, we've seen thousands.
Okay.
It's not a 86 Fleer type of distribution print run. But I'm sure there will be tens of thousands of the set eventually. Across Jordan, we're probably still in the low hundreds that have been submitted. Okay. We've seen a few really nice ones that were given to us here at the show. So
I have a guy here at the show who's passionately trying to sell me one of his Star Jordans, but at the same time is trying to convince me about the investment potential now that PSA is grading these.
Well, the prices for what it's worth, the prices we've seen have certainly risen.
They have
in the last I don't know, 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, the news since of you grading it, and it does seem to add.
I think that'll settle down personally. I think a lot of people are thinking, hey, if I buy an existing 8, I can cross it to an 8. Yeah, that may happen but Star is a tough set. I mean, it's kind of like I would say the quality control was the weakest of any 80s set I've ever seen. Yeah. So centering's a huge issue, corners are a huge issue, sizing's a huge issue. Yeah. So unfortunately, grading is inconsistent there. So.
And PSA is tough graders. I consider PSA tough graders. Now, I imagine you're going to tell me this isn't the case, but if you read zillions of social media comments, everyone, including some of my own experiences, feels like PSA has gotten tougher on grading over time. Is that true? Where does that go?
We haven't changed our standards. Okay. So yeah, I see the rhetoric on social, and I honestly don't really see it in the grading room. We're the same as we were when I came in a year and a half ago. Wasn't changed from the year before that. So I don't know what the issue is. I think a lot of it is expectations on pack fresh cards. I mean, we see it. I mean, we saw a Brady Panini Prism Gold from this year's product that got a 9OC. It was off-centered. I mean, and the submitter was like, how's the pack fresh card? I'm like, well, it's 90-10 centering top to bottom. So, I don't want to push the blame to manufacturers at all, but I think that is part of it, and there's other factors too. Sure. But we hear the feedback, and we're always willing to look at cards, slabs, and in the slab ideally, as opposed to cracking it out. And we're willing to admit if we got it wrong. So, we've had a few folks bring cards over and say, hey, why is this a 9? It should be a 10 or 8, 9. And we'll look at it, and they're not always right, but every now and then, we'll side with them.
Gotcha. So, okay. What are your impressions of this year's National so far compared to prior?
I haven't really this is my first time leaving our booth, actually, and since the show opened. But, it's exciting to see everyone. For me, as a collector, seeing my friends and networking, at usually after the show's over, dinner, is the most fun. This is our one chance a year to kind of, meet up and talk about our searches and acquisitions. On the PSA side, I mean, we're about 2x busier than we were the same time at the last national, which is exciting. That's his number of cards we've received.
Yeah.
And a lot of new submitters. I mean, I'm personally working the line and helping people create accounts and sign up for Collectors Club and make submissions. A lot of the $18, service level, like new set collectors are taking advantage of that. It's exciting. I haven't, like I said, walked the floor yet since the general admission started, so I haven't gotten a feel for the general buzz. I've heard buying and selling is a little different than last year. Not as much velocity.
Sure.
But breaking's exciting. Seeing a lot of kids walking around, which is great. We're handing out free packs to kids, so we've burned through a lot of boxes, but it feels a little different. I think it's bigger space.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the hobby's alive and well for sure.
I do too, and you hear the naysayers right now are obviously prices have fallen on a lot of cards over the course of the last year pretty significantly, and so a lot of people look at that and they're like, oh, the hobby's dying, the hobby's drying up. But then you look at things like the National said that they're expecting that over half of the attendees this year are new. First-time attendees.
That at PSA.
Yeah, and we look at our own metrics at Sports Card Investor with people watching our videos, following us on social, etc. And it's only ramping up. Like the interest level is stronger than it has ever been before. Prices may be coming down. I think people are just being a little smarter with their money.
Yeah.
But there's still a ton of interest, which bodes really well for the long term.
A lot of it was crypto. Speculators treating cards like crypto. And there's no reason a Mahomes card should be more than a Brady card.
Right.
In my opinion.
That's true.
And so, or look at Luka over LeBron. So I think prices have normalized. My line is like, I just don't think those cards ever should have been at that level. And it's easy for me to say, but like, I just believe that we all lost our minds for about for a year and a half. And I was part of that, and as were you. So that's just natural.
Yep.
We've seen that in stocks, we've seen that in crypto. It's the way things go with these assets. But like I said, true collectors, are alive and well. Set collectors, we're seeing a guy came in yesterday with an entire 57 top set raw baseball. Like, that's awesome. He's not speculating. He wants to get his set graded and compete on the registry. That's the kind of stuff I love seeing is still happening. And getting the next generation into core true collecting is our focus. So.
I've seen a big increase in the number of kids here this year, but also just in general as I've gone to different card shows. I've seen more kids, I feel like, over the last 6 months to 12 months than I had in the years prior. I feel like it's really, the next generation's really starting to take hold.
Yeah, I think so. We're seeing a lot of kids submit.
Yeah, it's good. It's exciting. Cool. All right, so final question. Is there anything here, now that you're at the National, that you're either looking to pick up or a box you'd love to get or anything like that while you're here?
It's a 1960 wax box Topps baseball.
Okay.
Yeah, I got
now, would you would keep that sealed though, or,
of course,
or would you go crazy one night and have a rip party?
No, it's not the Mantle series, so I'd keep it.
Right.
I'd keep it intact.
Yeah. I
I've
know
opened too many wax
you collect
boxes.
a lot of wax.
Yeah, and I've opened too many of them to realize it's not a.
Sure.
It's not. It doesn't pay off.
Yeah, the return's not good, but it is fun. But certainly keeping it, it's kind of an historical artifact. Are you guys ever going to grade those?
We'd like to. Yeah. I mean, we're grading packs.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot of packs. We opened up a lower service level for packs at $50.
Okay.
We're slowly inching our way towards, I would say larger unopened products. There's obviously boxes and cases, but we have a great partner in BBCE, and that's their business.
Cool. It'll be exciting.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Nat.
Yeah,
Enjoy the National.
Yeah, appreciate it.
For
You
sure.
too.